Good morning, we'll try that one again. Welcome, my name is Teresa Love, and I am one of the administrators here at Odessa. Our other administrator, John Thomas, is a veteran, so he is sitting out among you, and I'm looking for him. Where are you, Mr. Thomas? There he is. So we welcome you, and thank you for being here this morning. At this time, I would like to introduce the Mitchell High School Color Guard as they present our nation's colors, along with Ryan Mulcair, Addison Porter, and Caitlin Culpepper as they lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and our national anthem, which will be sung by Emma Borka. At this time, please stand.
The flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. I would like to welcome you to today's ceremony and Please pardon me, I'm used to taking the mic in my hand and speaking from the heart, but I'm actually going to be reading off of my speech today, so I apologize for that, and I will try to stay focused on it. So I would like to welcome you to today's ceremony, and thank you very much for attending. We're here today to honor our service members and to remember the sacrifices that they have made and the courage that it took and takes to defend our country. We're here today to honor our heroes, to remember their achievements, their courage, and their dedication, and to say thank you for your sacrifices. Thinking of the heroes who join us here in this group today, and those who are here in spirit, a person can't help but feel awed by the enormity of what we encounter. We stand in the midst of patriots and the family and friends of those who have served so nobly. The service members we honor today come from all walks of life, but they shared several fundamental qualities. They possess courage, pride, determination, selflessness, dedication to duty, and to integrity. All the qualities needed to serve a cause so much larger than oneself. Many of them didn't ask to leave their homes, to fight on distant battlefields. Many didn't even volunteer. They didn't go to war because they loved fighting. They were called to be a part of something bigger than themselves. They were ordinary people who responded in extraordinary ways in extreme times. They rose to the nation's call because they wanted to protect a nation which has given them and us so very much. And for that, we thank you. I would like to introduce Mrs. Lisa Grimsley, our chorus director, and our 4th and 5th grade chorus.
First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. And it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Count off the gates, loud and strong. 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4. We go
Thank you for the fifth graders. You did a beautiful job. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Lieutenant Colonel Alan S. Clyap, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about him in just a moment. Lieutenant Colonel Alan Clyap was born in Brooklyn, New York. He moved to Florida in his teens, and he attended school in Pasco County. How neat is that? Colonel Clyap entered the military in 1980 as a private in the military police. The colonel attended college at the University of Florida, where he was commissioned a lieutenant of infantry. Colonel Clyap's assignments include light infantry, training, airborne, and ranger assignments. He has also served on numerous joint staff tours, including tours at the U.S. Central Command and U.S. Special Operations Command. Colonel Clyap has served numerous tours in Afghanistan and Iraq. His last assignment was Special Advisor to the U.S. Ambassador and Commander of NATO in Brussels, Belgium. Colonel Clyap's awards include the Bronze Star with Oak Leaf Cluster, the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, the Combat Infantryman's Badge, the Master Parachutist Badge, the Pathfinder Badge, and the coveted Ranger Tab. Colonel Clyap retired October 1st after 30+ years of service. He is married to the former Tracy Miller and has 3 sons and a daughter. His youngest son is currently in the Marine Corps and serves as an intelligence analyst, and his other son leaves today for the U.S. Navy to be a nuclear propulsion technician. That's a mouthful. We welcome you.
Thank you. I really appreciate those kind words. To care for him who shall have borne the battle and for his widow and all. That's the motto of the VA, Veterans Administration. That's what we all do as we do our careers and as we enter our careers. Good morning. I would like to thank the principal, Teresa Love, assistant principal, John Thomas, who's also an Army veteran, Philip, who we met earlier, Monica Duquette, Lisa Grimsley, who is doing some of the music, and Pam Harper, who's done the decorations. Give them all a hand. They've done a great job. I'd like to thank all the parents, veterans of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Merchant Marine. I think I've seen each one of you here today, and we do all appreciate your service. And most of all, the students of Odessa Elementary School. If I missed anyone, I apologize. I do appreciate the opportunity to talk to you about my thoughts on Veterans Day and my appreciation for veterans and their families. I would also like to recognize our veterans of World War II. Please stand, Mr. Robert Ryan, if possible. Mary Clary, who is a Navy nurse. And Mr. George Smith, who is a Navy corpsman in World War I. I retired a month ago and joined your brotherhood. I would also like to recognize any of all spouses of family members of service members. They truly carry heavy burdens, and sometimes their contributions to what we do go unrecognized. The next thing I would like to do is recognize a number of special guests in our audience. Crystal Montrand is a Gold Star wife. If any of you do not understand what a Gold Star wife is or mother, is somebody that is lost a service member in action and service to our country. Her daughters and her family attend this school. Mrs. Montrand's husband, Sergeant Alberto Montrand, was killed in 2006 while serving in Oristan, Afghanistan, as part of Operation Enduring Freedom, while serving with the 7th Special Forces Group. Sergeant Montrand is an American hero. Crystal and her children, family who are here, are all heroes as well. Sergeant Montrand was awarded the Bronze Star for Valor as well as the Purple Heart and numerous other awards. I had the honor of staying at the camp that bears his name in Afghanistan, as well as speaking to his commander last week. When I found out that I would be speaking here and understood that Crystal would be here, I called the commander who served with Sergeant Montran and had a discussion with him about Sergeant Montran's actions on the day that he lost his life and gave himself for his country. Major Dave Gunther explained how Sergeant Montran volunteered under very dangerous circumstances to resupply a Green Beret team against vastly superior enemy forces. I am humbled to be in your presence, and words cannot express the sorrow and the debt the country owes you and your family for your sacrifice. I salute you, and our country is eternally indebted. If there's anything you need that is not being done to help you in any way, please let me know. Thank you. Please stand. Be recognized. Once again, we are eternally indebted to you and your family very much. I think in a few minutes, one of the children is going to have a few comments about his father, and I look forward to those thoughts and talking to you about his father. Also in attendance today are the Chilius family. Brianna is a student here at Odessa, and she lost her dad, second-class petty officer Curtis Chilius, in the U.S. Navy. He served in both Afghanistan and Iraq, and he was actually put on the hospital ship, the Mercy, that went to New York Harbor after 9/11. Again, we owe our debt and our gratitude to the Chilius family and to Brianna. We appreciate it. We stand and please be recognized. Hard to go on after that, but again, can't give as much praise to those families and what they did for us as we can. Veterans Day was originally titled Remembrance Day, Arms Day, on November 11th, 1919. It recognized the soldiers from World War I and the Great War who served. In 1947, it was expanded and celebrated for the first time as a national holiday to honor all veterans. As I sat around the last couple of weeks and thought about remarks and what I should say here, I kept coming back to the theme of service and commitment. Ronald Reagan gave great context in his Veterans Day speech on November 11, 1988. His comments were, "Today, as we do every Veterans Day, we take the moment to embrace the gentle heroes of Vietnam and all other wars." On that day, he was dedicating Vietnam's memorials. We remember those who were called upon to give all a person can give. Remember those who were prepared to make the sacrifice if it were demanded of them. In the line of duty, though it never was. Most of us all remember the devotion and gallantry with which all of them ennobled their nation as they became champions of noble causes. Nice words, but what does it mean? For me personally and for veterans here, it means a willingness to do for each other, for our country, what is required to keep us safe and maintain our way of life. Veterans have served before us in places like Lexington and Concord, Gettysburg, Bellawood, and Bastogne, Midway, Chosin, and Saigon. Names not very common anymore today, words that should be, to meet these places that veterans have served was sacred. To you, the students, it seems like yesterday I was your age. I would go to parades for Memorial and Veterans Day ceremonies. I would see my heroes. They wore uniforms of their country. They were superheroes. I remember as a child attending a Veterans Day celebration that included veterans of the Spanish-American War of the 19th century, as well as World War I veterans. Today they are all gone, no longer here. But I got to meet them and touch history. I had the honor of seeing them and being in their presence, those historic figures. Today we still have veterans from World War II, as we've talked about, Korea, Vietnam, and the latest conflicts in the Middle East. How do we honor them? Shake their hands. Visit them in VA hospitals. Most recent vets are not much older than some of you, and we'll probably taught in these schools right here. by your teachers. When you see them in a supermarket, shake their hands, talk to them. Most love to share their stories about many of their experiences, as well as answer your questions. This is living history. And again, these are historical figures. Some of their stories can be pretty funny. As all us vets know, everything that is planned in the military doesn't always go as planned. And there's some very funny stories that will come out of that occasionally. Put a bunch of young warriors together and some funny things can happen. Off to the side, and I know I don't have the time here, if you want to hear some of those funny stories, I'm more than willing to discuss them with you. On a personal note, my last assignment was in Brussels, Belgium, where I served as a Special Operations Advisor to the Commander of NATO and the U.S. Ambassador to NATO. The job put me in daily touch with the highest levels of our national government. But what was more important to me was visiting the American battlefields and cemeteries where tens of thousands of our heroes rest, many for almost 100 years. In fact, this year we're celebrating the 100-year anniversary of the beginning of World War I. It's a big thing having just come back from Europe. Some of those heroes have not been visited since they fell on those battlefields because they're far away from their families. My weekends would be spent walking for hours amongst the 17, 18, and 19-year-olds that never came home. They each had a story that begun and never ended. But we can continue their story by not forgetting. We can continue to honor our surviving veterans that carry the memories of their friends that never came back. One not mean go to Normandy. We have battlefields and memorials right here in Florida. My greatest possessions and collections are the soil upon which my band of brothers served. It gives me a bond with those before me, both living and those that have passed. In Europe, I was amazed at how the French children in Normandy and coastal areas remembered every detail of the American veterans that saved them 70 years ago this year. They wanted autographs, pictures, patches, anything American. We need to feel the same way about our veterans here in America. Today, my generation serves in places like Baghdad and Kabul, as well as Korea, Kenya, Nigeria, Poland, and hundreds of other places that are not known, nor should they be. Each and every one of you present support those returning. Each and every one of you should support those returning and those that have served. As someone who has done 6 or 7 tours in faraway places, it's nice to have someone come up and tell you thanks. Also, do not forget the families. They carry much of the burden of the servicemen employed. It's important that our country continue to support those that have given so much and still carry invisible and visible scars. President Barack Obama recently spoke about the plight of our returning veterans. The president in the past, he stated, it's about how we treat veterans every single day of the year. It's about making sure that they have the care they need and the benefits they've earned when they come home. It's about serving our vets as well as they have served us. Another quote along the same lines, which I think was very fitting from John F. Kennedy in 1963, stated, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. I have participated in a number of great American teach-ins, and I ask the parents and educators present to ensure that the sacrifices of all our vets be a part of your yearly lesson plan and your daily interaction with your children. You have a difficult job as teachers. You make a big difference in people's lives every day, as I can see from my 4 that are sitting here. One is actually in school today at Richey. So, one final note for you, the students. Whenever afforded the opportunity, serve others. Serve your community, serve your school, or serve your country, but somehow serve. If later in life you choose to serve your country in uniform, it is the highest honor that can be bestowed on you, and you could do some cool things like jump out of airplanes, ride in helicopters, and meet interesting people from all over the world. As I left the service last month, my 18-year-old son was finishing Marine Intelligence School. Lance Corporal Clive is here today in the audience. Chris, go ahead and stand up. Chris, being a good Marine, wanted to wear his uniform today, but he was afraid that there would be a senior Marine here, and his haircut wasn't exactly what he liked, so he decided to come in a different way. I think that Gunny was here somewhere, so Gunny, if you need to give him heck about his haircut, go ahead. My other son, Harry, is also with me here today. Stand up, Harry. I will leave here today after the ceremony and take Harry to the Mets recruitment station in Tampa to be enlisted in the United States Navy and swear him in tomorrow, and he will leave for the Navy tomorrow. And, today is a very tough day for his mom, for Veterans Day, and losing, or at least losing him for now to a higher calling to the Navy. The current generation of those who serve the military, you students who represent the next generation of Americans that keep us the greatest nation on earth. Thank you all. God bless you, our troops who serve around the world, our veterans, and our fallen angels. God bless you.
Thank you very much. We're going to take the next few minutes to honor each and every one of our veterans and active duty personnel. As I call your name, please make your way to the podium to accept a small gift from us. If it's easier for me just to come to you, just raise your hand and we'll come to you. I'm going to apologize in advance. I studied some names last night that are not easy, like Smith, Love, Jones, and Thomas. So I'm apologizing in advance if I don't pronounce your name right, so I'll do my best. I'll even put glasses on this. And the first three we're going to ask to come together, and that is Alan Clyap, Harry Clyap, and Christopher Clyap. And Dad already introduced them, so. Okay, then we have another set of three that we would like to come forward. I would like to come forward. And I will introduce each one, and you can just make your way up as I do so. John Rago, U.S. Air Force. That's the branch of service, 28 years. And his highest rank was Senior Master Sergeant. Along with, and we'll just stay here, along with Robert Rago from the Air Force, 3 years of service, and his highest rank was Senior Airman. And Robert Rago again, I was shuffling my cards, from the U.S. Air Force, and he served 23 years as a Tech Sergeant. Thank you. Tracy Matthews served in the Army, years of service, 2 years as a private, and highest rank was first class. Ashley Way from the Army. She served 6 years and her highest rank was E6. Okay, her husband is Michael Way from the Air Force. Your father-in-law, I apologize, from the Air Force, and he served 4 years and his highest rank was E4. I married you. Freddie Jones from the Marine Corps, served 20 years, and his highest rank was E7. Is Freddie Jones here? Oh, he had to leave. Jason Rawlings, retired a USAF, served 14 years was a wounded warrior, and highest rank was a tech sergeant. Chuck Noviak from the U.S. Army, served 2 years, and his highest rank was E5 sergeant. Raul Vidal Jr. served in the U.S. Army, 3 years of service as a specialist 4. Gene M. Freschler, U.S. Air Force, served 25 years. Highest rank was an E8. Dale Strand served in the Army, 2.5 years as a corporal. Apologize for this one right now. Dennis Arcidiacono. Served in the Army, 66 to 68, correct, as an E5. David Armis, United States Marine Corps, served 4 years as a corporal. John Canuli in the Navy, served from 65 to 68, 3rd class. And we are honoring Curtis Chilius, who served in the Navy for 12 years. Douglas Grimley served in the U.S. Navy for 20 years as a Chief Petty Officer E7. Patrick Storer, U.S. Air Force, 24 years, a Master Sergeant E7. Edwin Otero, U.S. Army, served 3 years, PSC. Robert P. Ryan from the Army, served 2.5 years, PSC. Tony Kearns from the U.S. Army, served 10 years as a sergeant. Larry A. Dean, the United States Navy from 1968 to 1972 as Petty Officer, 2nd class. Luke Wagner in the U.S. Army served 6 years as an E-5 sergeant. He's also one of our own in our school system. Mr. John Thomas with the U.S. Army and Florida National Guard. He served 8 years as a staff sergeant. Judy Bagley, U.S. Air Force, 6 years, senior airman. This is Kim Ashton with the U.S. Army. Miss Ashton is another one of our own. She's one of our 5th grade teachers. Jude Costello from the Coast Guard and Navy. Served 15 years as a lieutenant. Christy Montron. We have David Gonzalez from the Coast Guard, served 15 years as a Petty Officer, 1st class, and Brooke Gonzalez will be accepting this award. Roberto Alicia from the Army, served 26 years. Edgar Grabowski from the Air Force, served 5 years as Senior Airman. Greg Snyder from the U.S. Coast Guard, served 5 years as an E-5. Dr. Dennis Solomon from the U.S. Army, served 2 years and as a private 1st class. Kevin Priest from the U.S. Army served from 1967 to 1969 as a sergeant in E-5. Marcus Marcus Myers is one of our children here, and he's accepting for James Myers, who could not be here. So Marcus, are you still in here? Robert Clark from the Navy served for 4 years as a Petty Officer, 3rd class. Larry Levy from the U.S. Army served 2 years as a Sergeant E5. Edwin Courtwright Jr. served in the Army for 21 years as First Sergeant E8. Ronald Napier from the Marines served from 64 to 68 as an E5. This one is special to me because this is my father, and this is Dr. George Smith, who served in the Navy for 19 months as pharmacist mate 3rd class. Robert T. Brown from the U.S. Navy served 3 years, 3rd class airman. The next recognition will actually be accepted by Ashley and Alexis, who are the daughters of Stephen Miller from the United States Army, who has served 6 years, and E5 Communications Sergeant. Lou Pletcher from the Army served 3 years from 53 to 56, Sergeant 1st class. Frank Rosenberger from the Army served 2 years as Special 5. John Nilsson from the U.S. Navy served 9.5 years as aviation machinist mate 2nd class. Joseph Laviola from the Army served 2 years, 68, 69. Leroy Smith from the Army served 4 years as an E4. Gennaro Scarfliero served in the U.S. Air Force for 6 years as a sergeant. Mary Clay, who's an RN, served in the Navy World War II for 2 years, active, 4 years reserved, ensign. Is there anyone that I did not call? bringing up a card? Donald E. Freschler, the U.S. Air Force, 20 years, is E7. And he is there anyone else that I did not call? Is there anyone that I did not call? Don't be shy. My mother is correcting me in front of everyone. Thank you, Mom. We'll talk about this later. No? Okay. All right, let's give one more round of applause. Kevin Montron, one of our 4th grade students, to come to the podium, and I believe he's going to come up with one of our music teachers, Miss Duquette.
I am Kevin Mondron, and my dad is Sergeant Alberto Montron.
And Kevin wrote some words that he asked me to read for him. And he says, my dad, Sergeant Alberto Montron, served in the U.S. Army Special Forces. He served with the 82nd Airborne, the 528th GSB, and 7th Group Special Forces. He loved his family, soccer, dancing on engines in the motor pool, and fixing everything. His nickname was Gerber, which is a multi-tool that they use in the motor pool because he loved to fix things. He also loved to make a silly face that I make till this day. Bribery, a mother's gift. He was taken from us on February 13th, 2006 in Afghanistan after 10 years of service. My dad wasn't only my dad, he was my best friend and hero. My mom always says she sees a light shining through to me, continuing on to my angel in heaven. Those are Kevin's words. I'd like to introduce Lieutenant Law. He's from the Sheriff Chris Naka's office, and he's going to present their agency patch to 2 of our families. It's an appreciation of service to the fathers who were lost of our children, our Odessa Wildcats. The first one is Kevin Montron. And Brianna Chilius. Hold on to those mementos as your time at Pasco County and the remembrance from your dads. Thank you.
Keep them safe from night.
Odessa staff and community, I would like to thank each and every one of you for your service to our country. Thank you for joining us in this special day. Before we conclude, I would like to acknowledge our cafeteria staff. If you all are out here and you would stand, I just want to acknowledge you and thank you for your hard work this morning. Additionally, I'm going to call Lieutenant Law up here again. Lieutenant Law supervises our school resource officers and helps keep all of our schools safe. He's out here frequently, and he came this morning bearing some gifts. And we do have, do you want to do this? We want to do this? I'm doing fine, thank you. We do have 2 special coins that he brought, and he said, you know, Teresa, I think it would be great to give these to our 2 oldest veterans. So, we're going to decide who those oldest veterans are. So let's say if you are 85 and older, if you don't mind standing. I don't know how else to do this, but to acknowledge you're 85 or older. So we can see who our veterans are, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, if you are 87 or older, continue to stand. 88. We lost 1. 89. Lost another. 90. That's awesome. 91. We're gonna have a fight. Good thing you're here. 92.
Get another coin.
Whoa. Okay, so how old are you? 92? And you're 90? 91 and 90, 91. So you're the oldest, 92, and then 91, and you're 90, you're almost 91. We're gonna have to fight over this. Thank you so much. I'd also like to thank our custodians. I don't want to. We have Nick and Becky in the back. Thank you for all your hard work. So as we conclude our Veterans Day ceremony, we would like to invite you to join in a parade. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to invite you to walk around the interior of our courtyard. If you don't feel like you can or you need to go, that's totally fine. If you would like to stay, the rest of the students in the school will be out there waving flags. So you are welcome to join us, and we'll probably just exit that back door. Again, don't feel like you have to stay, but if you would like to, I know that our students would love to see you parading through the interior courtyard. So again, thank you so very much.